When truth finally comes out, it doesn't whisper, it explodes. And tonight, the sister wives world is reeling from a revelation no one saw coming. Mykelti Brown has spoken, and her words have shaken the very foundation of the Brown family. For years, she stayed silent. She watched. She endured. But now, Mykelti has decided to tell the truth. About Robyn, about manipulation, about the hidden power games that tore the sister wives family apart. This is the story that changes everything. For the longest time, the sister wives family projected a fragile peace, a family of unity, faith, and togetherness. But behind that polished surface, there were whispers, invisible tensions, and quiet battles for control. Mykelti, the daughter of Christine and Kody Brown, grew up watching the shifting loyalties and emotional wars between her parents and Robyn. Robyn was the newest wife, gentle, kind, and diplomatic on camera, but Mykelti saw a side that few ever witnessed. She remembers moments that didn't make it to television. Moments when words were sharp, emotions cold, and control was subtle yet suffocating. At first, Mykelti admits, I thought it was just me misunderstanding her. But over time, I realized, it wasn't me. The seeds of conflict had been planted. And they were about to bloom into a full-blown family explosion. The sister wives family dynamic began to change after Robyn joined the family. Christine felt pushed aside. Janelle quietly distanced herself. And Mykelti, caught between love for her father and loyalty to her mother, found herself emotionally torn. I saw how my mom's light faded, she says in one interview. And every time it did, Robyn seemed to shine brighter. There was a pattern. Robyn wasn't just part of the family, she became the center. Decisions, emotions, and even family conversations began to orbit around her. And for Mykelti, this wasn't just about favoritism, it was about control. She began noticing how Robyn used emotional vulnerability as a weapon, always appearing hurt, misunderstood, or fragile, while quietly influencing how Kody saw others. Christine's tears were treated as drama. But Robyn's tears, they became justification for major family shifts. As Mykelti grew older, she began to see the cracks in the family's foundation widen. Kody became more distant from his older children. Conversations with him started to revolve around loyalty and respect. And every time someone questioned Robyn's behavior, Kody would defend her without hesitation. That's when I realized something wasn't right, Mykelti recalls. It wasn't just favoritism. It felt like Robyn had become untouchable. It wasn't only about Christine anymore. Even Janelle's kids began feeling isolated. Mykelti started hearing things, quiet frustrations from her siblings who felt erased by their father's obsession with one household. And when Mykelti confronted Robyn, the reaction wasn't anger. It was pity, a kind of cold, quiet manipulation that said more than words ever could. She'd say things like, "I'm sorry you feel that way," or, "I never meant to make you uncomfortable." But the damage was always done. That's when Mykelti made a choice. Silence was no longer an option. When Mykelti sat down for her now viral interview, she wasn't angry. She was calm, collected, and heartbreakingly honest. She said what so many fans had suspected for years. Robyn wasn't the victim she portrayed. Robyn preyed on emotional weakness, she said. She used guilt and sympathy to control the narrative, and to make others look like the problem. Her words cut deep, not just for Robyn, but for the entire family dynamic. It wasn't about hating Robyn. It was about exposing the system of manipulation that had left wounds on nearly every relationship in the family. Mykelti detailed moments where she felt used to send messages, times when Robyn would subtly push her to speak for her mother or to test her loyalty to Kody. She became, in her own words, a weapon in someone else's emotional war. The sister wives world wasn't ready for that confession. But it was long overdue. The aftermath of Mykelti's revelations was immediate. Social media exploded with shock, anger, and sympathy. Fans debated who to believe, but one thing was clear: the image of unity was shattered. Christine, though proud of her daughter's strength, remained cautious. Kody stayed silent, at least publicly. And Robyn, she retreated, appearing in fewer public statements, claiming she was hurt by the betrayal. But for Mykelti, there was no regret. Sometimes you have to burn down the lies to find peace, she said. Behind the scenes, the family reportedly held tense conversations. Old wounds reopened. Trust, once fragile, broke completely. Even TLC insiders hinted that this revelation could redefine the future of Sister Wives as a show. What Mykelti did was more than airing family drama. It was a moment of generational honesty, a daughter standing up against years of silence. Her courage started a new kind of dialogue. What happens when reality TV families stop performing and start telling the truth? For so long, she said, I felt like I had to protect everyone's version of the story. But now, I just want to protect my own peace. It's a reminder that behind every headline, every dramatic confession, lies a real person, bruised, but brave enough to speak. This isn't about revenge, Mykelti concluded. It's about clarity. I was done being someone else's weapon. And with that, the sister wives world will never be the same again. Because when the truth finally explodes, no one walks away untouched.